Howdy everyone, and welcome to today's final unit on, that's right, cause and effect in the wonderful writing book. So as you can see, we have the essence of writing one, and we are going to go through the chapter. It's the final chapter. As you know already, my hair is super short. I've made it really short these days, but that's not a problem. I'm super excited to be here, and I'm really happy to teach about cause and effect today. Now remember, some of you might not have this textbook, some of you might have it. I'll put the questions on here, so you just have to make sure that you try your best. Write down a couple of answers, be super happy like Hello Kitty, be super happy like Dammy, it's all okay. Everything is fine. I want you just to try your best, just to try and write down some of your answers. Give me some sentences, and I will check some of your answers and some of the things that you've done. So don't worry, okay? Now we're ready to start. So let's go on to today's class. As always, I'll explain. Today's chapter is all about cause and effect. So we'll go through about what is cause and effect. We'll give some examples that we can read and write about. And then finally, we'll do the feedback. And the feedback is always the same. It's looking through some of the examples in this book and then trying to rewrite or look for ways to make and improve the writing that we have. Now, sometimes there are errors that people make, common mistakes. So that's what we'll look at. We'll try to find some of the common mistakes and correct them. Now, today is a beautiful day, and I don't know this date in the future, so maybe it's not a great day, and this can help you lighten your day by doing some writing. Maybe you hate writing, but we have to make sure that we do the writing book. So make sure you try your best. Just always try, and it's all okay. So the very first part, the introduction of the book in Unit 5. It says, what are the two quotes trying to say? So the first one, take away the cause and the effect ceases. The second one, shallow men believe in luck or in circumstance, strong men believe in cause and effect. So, what is it trying to say? Maybe you're not sure. Maybe you think it's something different. Or maybe you're like, Fraser, what's going on? Where am I? Cause and effect, these two sentences are saying that the first one, take away cause and effect, they don't exist. It's because they work together. They are working as one. The second one, as you can see, it's saying that, people who believe in luck will probably have, like not a very successful time, shallow men, they don't believe in deeper meanings. But the second one says that strong men believe in cause and effect. Now, obviously, it doesn't matter about it's men. It could be women. It could be anybody. So it doesn't matter about who believes in it. It's just that cause and effect are working together. So without one, you can't have the other, is what they're trying to say. But when we come to writing, we can write it in a few ways. So let's go through and try to see what we have. Now, as you can see with my funky little fruits and vegetables over here that are working out, what do you think? Try and tell your opinions about them. So, in your writing book, when you get there, you can see there's always a small section where you can write. So, in the book, you can see here, you can write there, and you can write down what do you think is your opinion about the effects of working out regularly. So all you have to do is just think about some of the good things that happen because of working out. So try to think about the effects. What happens at the end when you have worked out? So you can pause it, and then hopefully you've written down some things like the effects of working out. What happens when you work out? You get a good body, maybe you feel positive about yourself, or maybe you get better skin, maybe you're outside, so you get, a more positive attitude because more vitamin D. There's so many things that could happen because of working out. So what are the effects of working out? And you can see that one. The main thing here is that cause and effect are working together. With one happens the other one, so it's all a big circle, like like bang, 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 going around, bang, 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 go the other way, but it's all linked together. Now you have to remember, when explaining the causes and effects of an event, you point out why the event happened and what the consequences were. Consequence means the result. What happened because of it? So, why the event happened and what happened afterwards. So, when using cause and effect analysis, you can, now this is, important because it depends on the writing style, but you can concentrate on either one or both together. So just be careful because some are different. Now for us today, I'll explain everything. So, maybe, you'll be okay today. I'm sure you will. Rhetorical genre of writing. Many people use cause and effect. When would we use it? It's used often. It's used in like a political science class when we're talking about different things happening in the world. In sociology class, when we're doing our reports, in our jobs. And finally, writing an article. We use cause and effect all the time, especially in sciences, because we want to say what's happening and how things are linked together, how things, affect each other. So these are very simple ways that we can use them in different fields, and this is the easiest way to explain it. We use it a lot of the time, especially at university. What is cause and effect? Well, there's many interactions, and there's many different interpretations, how people think, the perspective about cause and effect. Maybe you have a friend, and you ask a friend what made her concerned, like what's the reason for you feeling concerned or worried, and then you can find the causes that are affecting her, like this. Many times parents ask their child why they want to raise a dog, to see whether you need to have one. So they might be like, why do you need a dog? You have a lot of schoolwork. And then you'd give a lot of reasons why you think it would be good, you kind of maybe, in a way, argument with them to propose ideas. But the idea is cause and effect are working together. The next one, you might say why you share why you started swimming and the positive effects of it. People might be like, wow, you look so good, you look so happy. And then you can explain the positive effects of swimming and how it's made it an improvement into your life. So there are lots and lots of ways to think about cause and effect. Cause and effect strategies is very simple. It's just talking about how they focus the writing. So when writing a paragraph with a cause and effect analysis, first you need to make up your mind about whether you will concentrate on the causes, like the problems or the issues that we're looking at, the effects, like the outcomes that have come from what's happened, or both of them together. So when you think about your writing, you're going to think, is it going to be cause? Is it going to be effect? Is it going to be it all together in your writing? And then when you've made a decision, then you can make your topic sentence. And remember, your topic sentence always is at the beginning of your essay, and it's the way that you can present, either your causes, effects, or both, and that would be at the beginning. So you're like, this essay is talking about the causes of or this essay is about the effects of or that's right, this essay is about the causes and effects of So it just depends on your writing and how you want to focus it. So there's many different ways. Both or all of them are correct, so there's no wrong way. When writing a paragraph with cause and effect analysis, like looking at it and writing about it, first you need to make up your mind. So we've made a choice. Is it going to be about both, like this? And then we make our topic sentence. So here's our examples. The causes of global warming can be identified in our daily life. So we're focusing on causes. Next on, Walking produces many positive effects, not only physically, but mentally as well. Hint for today's class. Next on, what are the causes and effects of being addicted to a smartphone? So it's an open question. We were looking at the problems and the effects, like what's happened as a result. So what are the good points, the bad points? No problem, you can talk about all of them as the causes, and the good points and bad points are the effects. Now in this case, it says being addicted. So in this topic, it's talking about the negatives. So you would want to talk about all the negative issues associated with smartphone, being addicted to them. When relating causes to effects, you need to make it valid. So you have to determine real causes and effects, not making just a list of something that happened before or after. Also, we want to verify that our assumptions, our thinking, is logical. So we don't want to think like, oh, this, and then somehow we're over here. Like it doesn't connect together. We need everything to fit together. It needs to be logical. So 1 plus 1 is 7. Right? Huh? Am I wrong? Maybe yes. But you know what I'm saying. It needs to be logical. We can't say something that goes really strange or weird. This is trying to look at something and just say, what do you think is the better choice? So, which is better for the following ones? Number 1, the product does not work because it is inexpensive. Number 2, the product does not work because it is constructed with poor quality materials. Which one is the better one? I'll wait for your answer. Oh, it's 2025. It's so late. We're 5 years in the future. No. You can see that the first one doesn't really say anything. You know, it just says the product doesn't work because it's inexpensive. But the second one says the product does not work because it is constructed with poor quality materials. This one gives us more information. So the second sentence is better. It's saying, this example here, that we know the reasons why. So you can see it's better to be more descriptive and to say about things. So in this case, this would be a better sentence to write down. Sometimes when you listen to English and maybe when you hear, maybe you're like, did Fraser say affect or effect? And many times when we're speaking quickly, effect, did you hear it? Effect. It sounds the same. And many times people confuse the two. So the short version of how to use effect versus effect. Effect is usually a verb, and it means to impact or to change something. Effect is usually the noun, and effect is the result of change. So effect means to influence something. So the storm affects the tree. The effect of the storm was to blow up the tree, like this. So you have to be careful. The effect is the result. The result in this case, it was bad. So, yep, effect, pollution negatively affects the environment. Exercise and healthy eating have positive effects, results, the change. So, just be careful. It sounds the same, but I am saying effect, not effect, but you can see the differences between the two. Now, in the textbook, I've put it on here. Hopefully you can see it. I know some of you don't have the textbook, so it's here, but it's here today. You can see the beautiful textbook on the page. What we're going to do is we're going to do the practice. And what I want you to do is to try to look at the images, the infographic, and then try to think like, what are they talking about? What is the story? What is the main information in here? Now, this is just pre-reading. So I want you to read it, have a look at it, and just try to figure out what are the main points. Now, if you look at the title, you can always find the main points. So for example, walking, the beauty of exercise. So it sounds like walking is going to be a positive thing, the beauty, like the good things. Further in there, you can see there's more, like they say, like what is one of the causes. So it says health problems in the affluent society. So they're saying, rich people have, problems. And then at the end, it's saying the effects of walking. So you can see it's split into two parts. So you can see that this one is going to be talking about both cause and effect. So you can see this. So pause me now. Make the notes, and you finished. It's perfect. I'll check this in class maybe if we have class together. If not, I might have to ask you to send me a picture of your writing. But the idea is just to try your best. Have a look and see the kind of information and things that are in there. Now we're going to go on to the reading part. Now the reading part in the textbook, I always want you to answer the questions. The questions are, what is the paragraph about? Well, we know the title. It said walking, right? So we know it's about walking. And then it says like the beauty and the effects of good, like it's giving hints. So we know that it's going to be about walking. And maybe the positive aspects of it. The next one, find the topic sentence. Remember, the topic sentence is what is the essay about? Showing the topic of the essay, and it's going to be at the start, like either the first or second sentences. You'll find it, so write it down. How is it organized? Like, look at it's going to start obviously with a topic sentence, and then usually, it's going to be split with the problems, like the causes, like the issues that we have. Then it's going to maybe talk about how to change this, like solve the problems, and then at the end probably a conclusion. But have a look and see if it does that. The next one, what does this paragraph focus on? Cause, effect, or both of them? Now the infographic already gave you the answer, but when you read through you can see it too. Number 5, does the writer or author use a variety of sentence structures? If he does, please write down some examples. Again, this is complex sentences, compound sentences, and obviously they do. So I think number 5 is not important for us today. So don't worry about 5, but if you do, I'll give you some examples of the sentences that use them. The next one, do you think the infographic shows or presents the text effectively? Please write down your opinions. Your opinion. So I don't care or mind if yours is different to me. Maybe you think it's the best. No problem. Maybe you think it's terrible. No problem. So long as you tell me why. You can write down anything. Just don't write down yes, no. There has to be a reason why. Okay? So here is the text over here. So just pause the video, read the text, go through it. Don't worry about the yellow highlighter. Just try to read through the text and to say, okay? So, pause me now. Boo! Alright, so you've read through it, you've written down your answers, you're perfect. You are amazing. That's true. So, let's do the first one. What's the paragraph about? As we said, look at the titles. The titles give it away. It's a solution to our health problems, walking. So the paragraph is about walking, how it benefits our life, how it improves our life. Next on, find the topic sentence, write it below. Boop. So as I said, look for where it explains about what is the topic of the essay. What is it talking about? Health problems standing out in our current era can be resolved with a simple exercise, walking. So it says about the problems, the causes, health problems, and how we can fix it. Walking. So the topic is about how walking can improve our lives and the problems that we have in our lives, right? Hopefully you found the topic sentence where it told us what it's talking about. Next on, how is it organized? How is it? The writer throws the cause and effects of like here, so he starts with the causes of the health problems, and then he gives the effects of walking. So he starts with the topic sentence, he says about the causes of the problems, he then goes on to the way that walking improves it, and then he writes a short conclusion, like one sentence, walking briskly helps improve our life, or something like that. Next one. What does this paragraph focus on? We said it like 3 times already. We said, what is it? Yeah, that's right, both of them. He says the causes of health problems, the effects, the positive parts of walking. So we know that that's the answer, right? You're like, no, Fraser. No, you know it. You've got it. You're great. Now, number 5. Do they use a variety of sentence structures? Yes. In doing so, blah, 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 blah. They say that, blah, blah, blah. There are examples, and you can look at those sentences that show different examples of compound sentences, complex sentences, and explaining different things. So don't worry, all right? And the last one, what do you think about the wonderful infographic? The infographic does show the text effectively, because you can look at the title and the headings and know, and you can see about it kind of clearly. Now this one is actually not too bad. I'm okay with this one today. The only issues I would have is, like the pictures in here. Again, it always comes down to the pictures. For me, they show pictures of healthy food. That's not a problem. That, vegetable on a skewer is a good picture. Like, you'd be like, oh, that's healthy. The next picture, it's hard to see. And the last picture, the effects of walking, it's just a picture of walking. It's not the best pictures. So for me, the infographic, the picture should be better. More focused on what we're talking about. Maybe if there was a couple of people walking, like fast, like power walking, then sure, that would be a better picture. If the picture was of fast food, then we know it's not healthy, so it's bad for our health. So the text isn't bad today, but for me, the pictures again are a letdown, so it could be better. Next up, we're going on to the brainstorm. Now remember, brainstorm means your ideas. I want you to choose one of the questions, and I want you to write down your own ideas. Now usually we would do this together with our partners. There's no partner. Always it's sad. But you can do this by yourself, and all you have to do is you just have to think about the following question. So the first one, what causes fine dust? So 미세먼지. And what effects does it bring to our society? So you can think of the negative ones. You could think of some positive ones, like Samsung sells a lot of machines to make it better for our lives. So there are good ones. What are the effects of traveling alone? What are the effects of reading books regularly? What are the effects of exercising regularly? What causes us stress in this society? There's a lot of things you can write down. What are the causes and effects of aggressive comments on the internet? So, like anonymous online comments. So maybe you're on ETA and you're like, oh, it's really terrible, blah, 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 blah. Or, that's a really horrible thing, blah, blah, blah. So people who make aggressive comments on the internet, usually anonymously, not always, but usually. So choose one of them. And you have to write down in your textbook or on your paper, what is the tentative title of your writing? Number 2, what is the topic sentence? Number 3, what are the supporting points of your writing? So you have 3 things to write down, and give some examples. So you'll have to give like 2 examples, supporting points, like ideas, what do you think for those, okay? So, you know what to do. Pause me now. Alright, and you've done it. Now, I've chosen to do traveling because I love traveling. But maybe this summer vacation I can't travel anywhere. I'll be stuck because of the problems that we have. Now, let's go through the first one. So, what's my tentative title? Potential benefits of traveling alone. What is the topic sentence? So it's got to be about traveling. So traveling alone can cause many potential benefits. Because my topic title is potential benefits, that's the only reason why I've done it this way, okay? Or, that's why it's being done this way. Next one. What's the supporting point of your writing? You can fully devote your time to something you want. What is the details to support this idea? When traveling with other people, you should try to consider your friends' preferences. Therefore, you will have to sacrifice what you really want to eat, what you want to see, where you want to visit. Considering the amount of money spent, it's counterproductive to always argue or try to, make it equal for everybody. So maybe, for example, you love takbar, maybe you love chicken feet, but your friends hate it. Then you can eat other things that you don't like just to please them. So it's a problem. Maybe you want to see a temple, but your friends just want to go drinking, or they just want to go clubbing and they want to party all the time. Or maybe you want to see like a beautiful church, or you want to see some beautiful thing, but your friends just want to sleep. So if you spend, like a lot of money to go somewhere, then what's the point in just staying at home every day? So this is why people, think like that. So there's the first one. The next one. Traveling together often causes trouble between friends. So you can fall out and fight, right? So for example, spending full days without separating often causes fights between friends. These fights can also cause further trouble in the future after you're done with traveling. If you travel alone, you are free from this situation. Now, this is about the benefits of being alone. So, being alone is lonely sometimes. No friends or heartbreak. But you can see that there are ways to think about the positives of being on a trip by yourself. So you might say like, we fought yesterday. Today the atmosphere is really bad. And then after you finish your traveling, you're not friends anymore. Or maybe you have something you don't know is a fight. Maybe just you said something and your friend or other people, they take offense, like they're really upset about this. It's game over. You don't know, right? So it can cause problems, and small things that you do can affect other people. That's why I always try to say, be kind to each other. Always listen and be respectful, because you don't know the small thing that you do, what it can do to other people. So I always try to be kind and nice, and I'm not perfect, but just try to be kind and nice. And in life, it's always the best way. My mother always told me to be nice, so I follow what she says even to this day. So always try to be nice, always try to take care of each other, and I'll always try to take care of you. Next one. Have a look at this infographic. It's feedback time. What do you think? How does cooking your own dish affect your life? Does it give the text effectively? So we know the contents of food. Okay, we know that kind of, what's there. Maybe. We can be more healthy. Yep, that's true. We can cut down on our food expenses. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, right? Because, sometimes you buy something fresh and it's more expensive. In general, what do you think about this infographic? It's a little basic, and the picture, it's not showing like the raw food. This looks like it's cooked, and then there's other things in there. So obviously it's not perfect, but, you can give your own opinion. So in the textbook, just write down a sentence or two what you think about this, okay? Alright, and the next part. We're going to do the feedback. So we're looking for mistakes. So this part, is looking at the writing, not the infographic. So you said about the infographic, now we're going to talk about the writing. So how does cooking your own dish affect your life? You need to read through here and you need to try to find the errors that are here in the writing. So pause me. We're looking for the errors in this text. You better have found some. Don't copy my answers. Hopefully you found some. I hope. Fingers crossed. So when you do this, hopefully you've done this perfectly. I've highlighted the mistakes in red. So the red things are ones that have issues in there. You can see here there's also some that have been crossed out and replaced with the correct expression. This is the first part. Take a look. Again, there's some other ones. How does cooking your own dish affect your life? The second part, going through, having the mistakes and finding them, and somebody's checked them for you, so it's all okay. Pause it. And let's start, okay? So we can list them. How do we categorize these errors? So remember, this is always in the textbook. This is always there for you to do. So you can see it always says, like, think about the mistakes. How can we, like, check them? What's the errors? How can you categorize? There's quite a few errors in here. The first one, remember, article. Today, the people consume. Today, people consume. Most important thing, the most important thing. So no contents of food, no the contents of food. An easy way is not. Always a good thing. So this is the article that is missing, like a or the or an in this case. Usually it's the or a. Next on, the tense. This lifestyle changed or has changed our lives. It's the past tense here, and you know it's changed again over here. But the idea is present perfect, simple past. We're talking about something that's already happened. The next one. In former days, people had to cook. It's all about the tense problem. In this case, it's the past tense, and they've done it in the present, so we need to make sure it's about the past. Former means before. Next one. Agreement, making sure that it matches. So oneself is wrong. People have to cook by themselves, not by oneself. Okay, so the agreement, making sure that we have the correct part. Next on, missing words or letters. There's a few of them, right? So example, in contemporary times. Contemporary by itself is wrong. It's just, like empty. What does it mean? In contemporary? I don't know. Did you write this? Maybe yes, so then it's okay, but we don't know, right? The next one, one of the easiest and most effective ways, because we've forgotten ways. So we need to make sure that we have it down. And then we've missed out a relative pronoun. So here, instant food, which there are only little differences. Instant food, which have only little differences. So you can see we have a relative pronoun that's been misplaced, and we've used the wrong one. There are a couple of other mistakes in here. In this case, countable nouns. Only few differences, only little differences. Word class. Old style. Now, British English and American English use different kinds of hyphen. That little dash is called a hyphen. And sometimes British English will use it and American English will not. So that's just dependent. But in this case, old style doesn't need that. So sometimes you might see British English with lots of hyphen, like my name has a hyphen. British English uses hyphens a lot, but American English does not. Next on, capitalization. They put a capital W when we didn't need one. Comparative. Can be more healthy. No, can be healthier. So remember, comparatives are all about sounds. Healthy means, and then the Y, I-E-R, healthier. And the last time we need a comma. So sometimes we have to. Sometimes we have to know. Sometimes, comma, we have to. So we have a punctuation error here where we need a comma. And cause and effect paragraph checklist is very simple. You have to remember just the basics, and the basics always are, number one, do you put a topic sentence? So are you clearly writing what we're talking about in this paragraph? So you want to write a sentence near the beginning, first or second sentence, usually first sentence, that says about that. Now sometimes the topic sentence is like the second sentence, like that. But usually it's at the very beginning, where we're telling the reader what are we writing about. Next on. Do you use proper examples of causes and or effects to support the topic sentence? So we have to give proper examples. It cannot just be like list. You can't just list all of the problems. You have to say, what is it? Do you make your points or assumptions valid and logical? So you have to make sure that it's logical. As I said before, you can't just say one thing and then expect or say or know that people, oh yeah, well, I said this, you must know, because everybody knows different things. So you have to make sure that it's logical so that we can understand the steps that you're following. Do you end your paragraph with an appropriate concluding sentence? At the end, you need to conclude, and usually it's just one sentence. In this textbook, it's short writing. It's just one sentence. Walking fast is good for your health. Bam. Finished. Like that. So that's why we know. And do you use various sentences to construct various sentence constructs to make it? So you just have to make sure that your writing is not just one sentence like this, and you put sentences together, you explain, and you use your English ability. We all have different English levels, and I'm teaching this class to different English levels, so it's a little hard for me to do this. So that's why don't worry too much. Just make sure that you write as much as you can. And the last one, do you avoid grammatical errors? Making sure that you put them like balanced your sentences, making sure you've got the punctuation correct, making sure you've got spelling correct. These kind of things are important. That is it for today, and that is it for this writing book. I do not need to do any more. So Dammy over wherever you are, is over there smiling and a little bit happy that it's time to go, and then trying to look sad. Hello Kitty's like bye, just straight away, just going. So maybe you're a little bit happy that this is the end of you doing the writing book, and then you're like, oh no, I'm really sad because I miss Fraser. I know it's not true. Don't worry, alright? Everything's great. This semester with the writing book has been a little bit different because we've done it all online, but you're all doing a great job at school. I'm really happy that everybody has tried their best at this class. Writing is not easy, and it's a lot of students really hate doing writing. But if you just try little by little, write a journal, like make some notes, a diary. I mean, obviously vlogging is a lot easier, but you know, if you make a diary and you write down some things in English every day, you'll be able to see your mistakes and look at what you've done wrong and right. And you know, it's a good way to practice, is to write down some things that happen every day. So maybe you're smirking, like we're finished, maybe you're sad, but that's it for today. And I haven't got anything else to say. There's no magic Harry Potter today. Everything is great. I'm just super happy and really excited to have taken a great class with you this semester. So for this part, for these videos on the writing book, that's it for today, and that's it for this semester. We will do some practice before the final test, just like for the midterm test, because we will use questions, and we will do this on the exam. So I will tell you at a later date which ones to be ready for. So for now, everybody, take care, and it was good to see you, and bye. Bam, bam, bam. See you later. Bye. Okay, everybody, maybe it is time to say goodbye for the final time, and I am magic, so Portus. Here is my portkey, and it's time to go. So goodbye, everybody. Whoosh.